Hiya, my name is Thierry. I am a Bobbi Brown artist here in Bath, and I'm going to show you how to do a really lovely, classic, beautiful bridal eye. So I'm going to start off just using a little bit of bone shadow. So this is just a nice kind of translucent shade. It's just going to take off any excess oil that sits on the lid, and it's just going to give me a nice even base. Start buffing the product all over the eye, right up to the brow. I don't want it to look too opaque. I do want that nice kind of sheerer finish, but it just means any time that I work in with any darker shades, it's going to give it an easier blend. Bridal should always be about looking like you, but on an amazing day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buff this into the crease to start with. Anytime you're working with eyeshadows, it's always a good kind of trick is to layer your product. So I'm just going to go in with this really nice soft transition shade and just really buff that in. And as well, doing it with the eye open rather than closed, so you can see where the actual crease actually is. Applying it with your fingers, a really good little trick just to get really good pigment payoff. So always use your ring finger, and then I'm just going to buff out the edges so there's no harsh edges on there. Cocoa. So this is a really lovely warm tone. Warmer tones always work really nicely. Cocoa is always a really kind of good go-to colour for me. I think it's just one of the nice, easiest ones to use. It's not too dark, but you can build it up and get a good, decent amount of depth with it as well. So my favourite trick to do with the gel liner is a little bit of tight lining. So we're going to basically pop this just underneath the lashes. So I'm going to get a little bit on my brush. I always like to coat both sides of the brush. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to gently lift up on Sophia's lashes. And I'm just going to do little dashes at a time. So now we're going to work on the liner on the lid. So I'm going to get Sophia to look straight ahead with her eyes open for me. So head down a little bit. So I'm actually just going to do a very soft wing on Sophia just because she's got really lovely eyes to do a winged eyeliner. So I'm just going to take a little bit out. You always want to follow the direction of your lower lash line. And then if you look down for me. So now I'm going to trace that back into the eye. Again, I'm not getting Sophia to completely close her eye because I want to make sure that it is sitting really nicely. Follow the direction of your lower lashes and just do gentle little flicks out. And don't worry if it's not super straight or anything like that, because you can always correct it. One kind of little tip that I was always taught with eyeliner as well when you're doing your flicks is don't take your eyeliner right from the top, take it from just below. So gently flick out, take it from just below so you'll still get that really lovely sharp point at the end. I want to make sure every bit of skin is coated. I'm just going to add on, again, I'm going to go in with a little bit of bronzer first. And you'll notice with my brush as well, I don't hold my brush right close there. If you find that you're a little bit heavy-handed, or if you're wanting to do something that's a little bit more delicate, hold it a little bit further back. You'll find that you'll naturally be a little bit lighter handed. Of course, you can't have a classic bridal eye without a little bit of sparkle. And I'm just going to pat this onto the lid. So I always like to start in the center and then I work along the rest of the line. And it just gives you that really lovely, light reflective sparkle. Now, mascara time. Anyone who says they do an eye makeup without mascara, no. So I'm blocking you. So I'm using Intensify Long Wear, super fine one, really good long wearing mascara, but it's not waterproof, so it comes off with just normal hot water. But it's really good if you've got slightly finer lashes, or if you just want like a very natural pretty lash, you don't want anything too heavy. So tilt the head up and look down for me. So I'm just getting it right in the root of your lash and just giving it a nice little wiggle up. Think of mascara almost a bit like hair gel as well. You can kind of use it to direct your lashes where you want to. You always really want your lashes to be kind of going out and up. You don't want them to kind of be sort of pulling out straight. So always kind of give a nice little lift up. And I just like to kind of swing out at the edges as well. So now we're going to do the lip. So a lovely kind of look that you are going to get with the lip is just to keep it really soft, really pretty. And again, you know, for kissing the groom at the end, you don't want to get him covered in red lipstick. Save the red for the evening. I always like to start in the centre. Again, kind of similar to the eye, you kind of really want to start where you want to make the most impact. And then I'm going to go in at the top. And again, I'm kind of using the brush almost to do like a little X. So it allows me to kind of get right into the Cupid's bow. And that's one thing that a lot of people do struggle with, is getting their Cupid's bow. And there we go. A very quick, easy, pretty, beautiful bridal. Thank you very much.